Hello, everyone. My name is Lacey, and today I'm going to talk about something called gratefulness. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not been here before, I talk about my life, the way I perceive things, my perspective, all of that jazz, and I just kind of share my perspective of the world around me. Um, Today, I've had some technical difficulties just around me, and it's kind of got to the point where it's funny. But one thing I wanted to remind myself of and others is one of the biggest ways to raise your mood, your vibration, your perspective of the world around you, just to change your perspective of the world around you, is by having gratefulness or looking for things that you are grateful for. Right? So, I also just took a nap, so I did kind of write some of this down just to spark it in my mind because after some technical difficulties today, I literally just took a nap with my cat, and that's just sometimes what you gotta do sometimes. Um, so one of the best ways, especially if you're like new in like doing this kind of stuff, would be to, I mentioned in the video before, when you go to bed at night, try to look for things that you're grateful for. As in, before you fall asleep at night, at least write 5 things down that you're grateful for before you go to bed. The way I do it is I write the date, the time, and the 5 things. And one of the I kind of just started doing the date and time because I wanted to see how I changed over time. But I actually changed a lot. Like when I first started, I would literally write like I'm grateful for sharks. I'm grateful for animals. I'm grateful for my friends. But I didn't even put the I'm grateful part. I put I'm grateful for at the beginning, and then had like asterisks of literally 5 different things, like for water, for food. It was just trying to help me find what I was grateful for at first, but a lot of the times we're kind of like just not thinking about those things. So it's not a natural part of our life. So we're like kind of feel awkward when we're like writing down at first or looking for things that we're grateful for. But I would say if you like when I first started, I literally wrote like the simplest things, and now I write like full sentences or sometimes like very descriptive like things. So kind of just feel what feels right for you. And what this is actually doing is it's like triggering in your brain every day to look for things that you're grateful for. So if you make this a part of your routine, like your mind is going to want to find things for you to look for by the end of the night. So you'll start like noticing more and more as the time goes on. You'll start because your mind is like, ooh, like what are we looking for today that we're grateful for? It is like something that takes some time, but it will start to occur. That's just how the mind works. It's kind of like another trick that I'm just gonna mention real fast is like asking your so like let's say you have a goal or a dream or something, like asking yourself why you already have that thing, like or why do things let's say you're trying to have the mindset of like everything always works to my favor or everything works to my greater good. You would kind of ask yourself like why does everything always work in my favor? Why does everything always work how it should? Because your mind is going to look for answers. It wants to like come up with a solution. And a lot of the times we're in like these negative mindsets where we're like, why does everything not work in my favor? Or why is everything so hard? And then your mind starts giving you more evidence of that to answer the question for you. So by just simply like, um, sorry, by just like starting to have your mind look for things, you're going to start noticing that throughout the day, your mind even might point out things you're grateful for. So, I actually was going to say the next thing when okay, as you do this, your mind will look for things, and then maybe you'll start to do it like in the middle of the day. You'll start saying what you're grateful for. I started noticing after a while, like I would literally start noticing things throughout the day that I'm grateful for. It wouldn't even like be at night where my mind would do it. It would be like I catch myself getting anxious or frustrated, and I would let like today is a good example. I was having technical difficulties. I was supposed to do this thing for streaming, and the Wi Fi was just not it, you know? And in that situation when like the Wi-Fi is just not working in your in your favor and whatever, I did catch myself trying to find where it was working in my favor. Like maybe there's a reason. Like I'm a little tired today, so maybe my body and my mind or whatever just wants rest, and this is the universe or whatever helping me do that. But things I would say was saying to myself when I caught myself getting frustrated, because it is normal. You're a human, you know, when you have these ideals of what things have to be like, you will get or you could get anxious or something when things aren't going the way you planned it. So things you could say in that, like, and I caught myself saying was like, I'm grateful that I even have working Wi-Fi. I'm grateful that I even have a computer that I could stream on, that I can be complaining that doesn't have Wi-Fi working. Or if you just have a phone and you don't have a computer, you could do the same thing where you're like, I'm grateful that I even have a phone that could have Wi-Fi on it. Because think years and years and years ago, we didn't have that. You know what I mean? Um, so I would say that that like helps me. It's so funny. Everything's see. I'm grateful I have an iPad because it's acting funny. Um, but you also will look for other things around you that you're grateful for. Like, I'm grateful that my animals are chilling with me, you know, or do things that make you feel happy. Like, I ended up ordering Taco Bell today and just like playing some games on my Steam Deck. So my internet was going in and out, so it would literally like come back and it turned my Steam Deck on, and I was able to like use my Steam Deck. I don't know what just happened. So I was able to use my Steam Deck. So that could be something that is like I try to see those situations when things aren't working the way I initially planned as something that is in one way or another working in my favor. Maybe I don't see what the reason is. Maybe I don't need to know what the reason is, but it is. That's just what I'm going to tell myself. And it kind of like changes your perspective and helps you just like relax and calm down instead of like getting frustrated. And do you want to know what's funny? Now that I took a nap and I let go of the Wi-Fi, I'm sure that there was some stuff going on with the Wi-Fi when I was taking my nap, but now the Wi-Fi seems to be working. That's why I'm trying to upload this video. It is 3 in the morning. Um, so it did take a minute, but like I let it go. I didn't care about it, and now it's working again. Like I can tell that it's working even though I'm filming this video because the TV is playing right next to me. So changing perspective, letting things go really can like help benefit you. Even if it's, listen, even if it's to make you feel better, why does that matter? You know what I mean? Even if all of this is delusional and insane, whatever, you know what I mean? Like we all live our lives in these ways that like could be that delusional or whatever in one way or another. So I'm going to choose to believe that everything's working in my favor and that everything is for my greater good, for the greater purpose of me, or the world around me. So Okay, another thing that I wrote was that in stuff with little resistance, you might see evidence of the thing you're trying to manifest or the thing that's like not working your way happen faster. But there are some things that your mind does have resistance to because there's lots of things, you know, like you might say like for the Wi-Fi, for example, you're like, well, it's out of my control, like the company that I use is who, you know what I mean? So you might have resistance even if it's something the small thing because like I do believe that your reality is something that you can change, you know? But like there's certain things you have resistance around or you have people around you that might have resistance around it that you know you're that's also influencing your perspective. And that's nothing wrong because like yeah, in those situations, just see it as something that's working for you in that moment and let it go. Because I don't honestly think it's like worth the brain power or worth the like you could be using that for, you know what I mean? Like you could use that for something else. Like that's my opinion. But I was gonna say, like, in things where there's little resistance, you can see an instant shift or even an instant shift in perspective. And I do know this takes work. It wasn't like right away, and it's not even like now it's right away. Like sometimes it takes me a little bit of like do it like a little bit of like trying or believing in myself in the moment or pointing out everything that I have to be grateful for or how it could be working in my favor for it to like change my mind. Like even though I've been doing this for a few years, like I am a human. We're all humans. We're all doing the best we can with what we have in the moment. And so like take it easy on yourself. Like I really mean that. Like don't beat yourself up because things are frustrating you or causing you anxiety or whatever. Like it is a part of being a human. And if you kind of like, I learned this recently through therapy, if you kind of like beat yourself up for, having those emotions, like you're just like, you're not actually benefiting yourself. So kind of looking, and I mentioned this in the video about raising your vibration, kind of look at how you're feeling, acknowledge your feelings, and then look for how you could feel better in the moment, and just find a different path for that moment and like I said, like if you let it go, it might work, like it's funny, the internet's working now, but today it wasn't working unless a person at the company reset it. Like even if it was reset at home, it was not working, but the company had to reset it. And then once I just was like, well, I'm not streaming anymore, I'm gonna take a nap, I'm gonna do whatever, it's working. Even if it's just whatever, it is working. um, Also, sorry if you can hear the air conditioning. um, So yeah, then it says that yeah, some things you're gonna have more resistance to, some things are going to cause you more anxiousness or anxiety, especially if it's something that you planned a certain way or you expected it to go a certain way. So just be nice to yourself in the moment. One thing that really helped me when I first started on this path of life is like okay, so I'm a live streamer. So does it actually like one thing that helped me let go of the moments when I'm anxious or moments that things aren't going well or the moments whatever, like is it actually going to benefit me to live stream anyways? Like when I'm anxious or frustrated? Probably not. It probably is going to be more beneficial for me to love myself, look for things that I'm grateful for, and then come back to that thing later, when it's, when I have a different perspective of it. I know everyone's job is different. Excuse me. But I do think that if you're watching these videos, you're probably someone who is looking for a different perspective of things. So just be easy on yourself, whatever that might mean. Find something else to do with that time if you can, even if that's taking a nap or hanging out with your animals or eating snacks. Like I said, I ordered Taco Bell earlier, ate a bit of it, literally then ate some snacks afterwards, and I came downstairs and cuddled with my cat and he laid on me and I had one of the best naps I've had in a minute. And I did stream like 8 hours yesterday and did 2 workout classes and all of this stuff, and I did have this like a thing I was going to do for my streaming today, that I really had planned for this week. And I, even if it was out of my control of the reason why, it could have also been my body or my mind or whatever wanting me to literally rest, because I did do a little bit yesterday. Um, Whatever the reason may be, I'm gonna choose to believe that it was working in my favor, for whatever reason, and that I'm gonna be nice to my body and be nice to my mind. And I was laying there and I had the thought for a second, hey, look at your list of stuff you wrote at Starbucks the other day on video ideals. And I decided to make this video. I literally did not know if I would make a video today, but you know what? I took it as my time. I took it as my chance. And yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at here, leave it at this, and I will probably make more videos coming this week. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about it because I think it was something that was good for me to hear too, especially since it was something kind of related to what I was experiencing today. So, yeah, start with things small if you need to, right? Things that you're grateful for when you go to bed at night or whatever. Whatever helps you do it. And then you'll start noticing that you'll do it like normally. So like let's say the shower is hitting you with cold water. I catch myself being like, I'm grateful I have running water. I'm grateful that I have cold water to drink. You know what I mean? So I will start to point those things out when I catch myself complaining about things. Even if maybe I'm even complaining out loud in my head, I actually will be like, hey, like you have so many things to be grateful for. You know, like you have running water, you have the cold water that's spraying on you, like you have that to drink if you want it. And so like I will look at those things. So these are just reminders for myself and anyone else who cares to hear it, to look for things you're grateful for, especially in moments when you're anxious or whatever. But just make it if you make it a natural part of your everyday routine, it will become easier for you. So don't beat yourself up. Just kind of do what feels right. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, if you didn't notice, my hoodie that I'm wearing is part of the merch that I made. And I got this sample and I actually love it. Like, I love it. It came today, especially, it was the perfect timing to come today. I'm so happy. So it has this little, like, hammerhead and this little hammerhead right here. So yeah, I'm super freaking excited about it. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, you guys. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. You're wonderful. I hope whatever you needed this video for, it finds you well. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.